The one remaining event on my calendar this spring was a group show with my paintings called As Far as the Eye Can See at Jonathan Weisskopf's VSOP Projects, Greenport, New York. By the time the show was installed, however, no one was allowed to see it in person. Jonathan invited me to create an Instagram live performance as part of the show. As I thought about how to make voiceover paint, I looked for a way to flex my agency and offer my audience a genuine, if not subversive, experience. Just because something isn't seen or acknowledged by others doesn't mean it didn't happen. We bury our own stories, or they are buried for us. I had faced this type of denial before. Many years ago, outside forces attempted to block my access to my own curiosity. To escape, I went on a quest to explore for myself a wild, unknown terrain. I changed my major from fine art to economics after my painting professor said I would need to find a way to paint in a minimal, abstract, hard-edged style if I wanted to be a real painter. Shortly thereafter, I left Southern California to study in Paris. The many lessons learned there are encapsulated in my decision to buy a pair of pink, strappy platform sandals at Gallery Lafayette. 2 years later, back in California for my senior art exhibition, I showed a group of large-shaped gestural paintings on paper. I also screened this short film about the pink shoes, why I bought them, and how they made me feel. My decision was tied to how I felt about painting, thinking, writing, and seeing myself. I filmed in Super 8 with my sister Julia. Julia shot me from various angles vamping in the shoes. I shot her hands on the keyboard of our portable typewriter from above. Minimal abstract semaphores in black, white, pink, and aqua connect to these intercut shots. After developing the film, I applied paint directly onto the actual footage. The colors and shapes are visible dancing over and around me. Julia is shown typing the script for the voiceover I recorded and played during the film screening, as if she were me, thinking aloud. In the voiceover, I describe my shock at seeing Paris and Parisians with their explicit devotion to the visual and aesthetic worlds. The distance between this culture and my Midwestern upbringing merged with my recent California casual lifestyle was vast. The pink shoes would take me down the long road between the two. Upon returning to the States, I changed my major back to fine art. In the film, a small painting of mine on stretched canvas is visible. It is intentionally turned towards the wall with its underpinnings revealed. After graduation, as I was packing up to move back north, the same art professor, who was married with a small daughter, stopped by my apartment and, out of the blue, asked me to run away with him. We did not have a personal relationship, and I was baffled by his proposal. Was it the pink shoes, the film, the self-enlightenment I had found on my voyage? My sister and I left and drove together to Palo Alto. I moved forward just as I had before. I connect my painting with the movement of my body and with the wild liminal space of the meadow outside my studio window. The meadow is an unsettling, open expanse with high grasses and volunteer olive and cedar trees. It is in transition from field to forest. This passage happens in stages, with shifts of perception dissolving from one to the next. I learned the technical features and limitations of the performance platform. One by one, I look for ways to turn each one into an expressive opportunity. Interestingly, I noticed that I am especially wary of having others dictate any of my aesthetic choices. I want to model a behavior of slow movements, watching, thinking, deciding for myself if something is right or not. I want to allow time to sift and evaluate options. Split screen, live recording, video streaming, and format constraints give shape to my choreography. My daughter Phoebe reads the voiceover script as if she were me, thinking aloud. Jeff, my husband, follows my instructions to channel the pace of a turtle for his live camera work. My son Evan is archivist, and Jonathan selects a shade of violet for the face portal on the video streaming half of the screen. Our stories can be buried by those we know and love, by society, and by the status quo. COVID has weakened the forces keeping repressive, exploitative practices in power. We are waking up, unearthing stories, living in a new space open to allow for different ways of moving forward.
I begin to paint by mapping out territories. I pour paint onto canvas laid out on the floor. This initial action is exploratory. The paint will follow its own path as it soaks into sections of the canvas. There are some parameters. I consider the type and size of the canvas, the color of the paint is significant, and I dilute and manipulate the pores as they soak into the canvas. The canvas sections are rectangles or squares. I use the colored pencils to trace arcs and circles that appear under the layers of poured paint. I'm looking for a way to articulate something important to me. It will be revealed in the paint. Reading the results of the pours, how the paint has actually dried, the different densities, tide lines, contours, and shapes is an opportunity to check my choices. Does the actuality of the paint resonate? Are these passages taking me closer to what I want to say? I stay open to what I see. Gradually, I release my expectations for my initial actions. Disappointment or dissatisfaction is replaced by curiosity, acceptance, and delight with what is actually there in front of me. I spend time looking, waiting to see which passages connect to how I'm feeling. My next explorations will bring together clusters of pours that together reveal the complete narrative. I arrange and rearrange them using the wall, making small shifts and edits. The last step is a careful engineering to hem and sew these sections together, leaving pencil lines and loose threads as traces back to my first steps.